So every day I get clearer and clearer that we should look at things differently, that there are sequencing patterns, there are activities happening that just don't have our brain sequence in the same manner. So that's really where I want to start the conversation. And in that, I want to tell you a story. And here's the story. So recently in the team, remember the spiral I showed you, that where you're in a huge amount of unknown space. And what happens in a huge amount of unknown space is often things simply fall away or fall apart or disappear. And because humanity does not trust that things only go out of existence so something can come into existence, things only collapse so something can expand, things only deconstruct so something can construct, we don't have a strong relationship to our own metamorphosis, to our own evolution at this time. We still look for it in the job, we still look for it in the location, we still look for it in the relationship, even the relationship with ourselves. So I would say, and I want you all, especially in your notebooks, I want you to look at between 1 and 10, what is your relationship? What percentage of you as a being is present to and able to track your own metamorphosis, your own metamorphic evolution? Or you could say, how well can you track your own dimensionalization? So probably the odds are good that it would be easier for you to track your own metamorphic evolution, that something is morphing, that there seems to be something more, but you can't track it. You can't find it. You can't put your feet down on it. So usually for humanity, when they've morphed, they think that then it's the next job, the next relationship, the next moment in time. But right now, this evolutionary metamorphosis is growing stronger and stronger and stronger. So you want to be familiar with your brain patterning and what you've identified with. And in that identification, are you tracking your metamorphosis, or are you looking to the world outside of you to latch onto? I had this image last night of a trapeze artist grabbing the bars of the trapeze and swinging from one side to another. And of course, when they first begin, there's a fear of falling, obviously, not knowing there's a net underneath them. But that's kind of humanity. Humanity is hoping they can grab the next bar. They're not the ones that realize, we don't realize yet we're the ones that created the circus to begin with. So that's the first thing. But right now we are in a metamorphic dimensionalization, and we are in the evolution of it. And every day it becomes clearer and clearer how real that really is. So that's the first question I have, is how well can you track your own evolution? Or do you think you aren't evolving? Do you think that you are not in a metamorphosis? Do you think that your circumstances simply suck or work? And that you hope that something happens to make things better? I promise you, every day, those two lines, those two landscapes are going to grow further and further apart. And you're actually going to have the feeling, if you're straddling them, that you're going to slip off one side or the other. Your system's going to have to choose whether it's in a metamorphic evolution dimensionalization, or if it's simply doesn't know how to find their next job, the next relationship, the next action, etc., and so on. But the part I want to keep saying is I think I've said this for nigh on to 50 years, But now we're in the thick of it. Now we're where it's really real. Now it's where we really are having to pay attention, that something really, really, really is starting to occur in such a way that if our mind is not willing to track or consider that we're part of a metamorphosis, that we're part of we're a molecule in a new dimensional sequencing, and that we're repatterning, and that our brain waves and the activity of brain waves are restructuring, and we're along for the ride. And that what helps the ride easier is to track that certain things are going out of existence and be in the anticipation of other things coming into existence, be able to track that certain things are deconstructing, often our neural webbing, and that we have to wait, meditate, be still, be quiet, relax, have a good day, while new neural webbing constructs. We have to trust that when things are going out of existence, at the very same moment, because we've only been paying attention to things a certain way, at the very same moment, something else that we can't yet see, can't yet track, is coming into existence. And if everything's starting to squeeze down into only having one moment, that you can't tell what to do next, that you don't know where you are, all you have is planting your flowers or washing your dishes or going to your exercise class or sitting in your room staring at the wall, that you're in a contraction. And you're in a contraction because when you come out of it, there will be this gigantic expansion that you've been part of. So we're truly in a time where things are actually moving to the next greater whole. And when we are in that time where everything is moving to the next greater whole, there is no ability to know what will work and what won't work. You only know that you feel compelled at the gut level, which is what we've been developing. You only feel compelled to be present to what you're present to. And sometimes you feel compelled to do what there is to do. In the old system, which can look like you're going into oblivion, in the new system, it can simply be moving with what is unfolding that is not yet visible to your conscious mind. It doesn't mean it's not visible to your consciousness. It's still unconscious in your conscious mind. So that's the first piece. That's part one.